Okay, so do you hear me clearly, guys?
Yes, sir.
Opo, sir.
Okay, good. So let's start. Yung iba wala na, hindi na nakapagbalik. Anyway, I hope they knew this. Okay, so ganito. Alam ko, it's some of you here are very good in memorizing things. Okay, they can even memorize complex figures or illustrations just like this. And for those who have no talent memorizing this kind of complex figure, just like me, we better go to a uh, ano ba yan? We better go to another way to do that. Okay, by analyzing. Yun yung pinakamaganda. Kasi makalimutan mo man, pwede mo pa siyang i-retrace. Pwede mo siyang balikan. Okay? By, kumbaga, derivation ng tawag. Alright? So, ang tanong dyan ay, paano ba yan, sir, ginagawa? Okay. Now, actually, it's just very basic, guys. We're just going to use the concept of geometry. Do you still remember the special angles in geometry? What are those special angles? Those are, wait lang, white. Those angles are 30, 45, 60, 90. Wait, my chat. Ayan, very good. Kulang ka, Harvey, ng 30 and 60. Yeah, this is just one of the, kasi there are two eh. So geometry, there are two, pero sa trigonometry, there are infinite number of special angles, okay? And one of them is 45, 45, 90. But in trigonometry, yung pinaka-basic ay 30, 45, 60, and 90. All right, so we will be using the concept of the special angles to derive these values. Actually, they're infinite. So, sir, saan ba yan ang galing? Okay, so we're going to use right triangle, of course. Now, let's say this is 30 and this is 40. 40 degrees. Alright? Ay, parang baliktad. Sige, geometry muna tayo. Di ba sabi natin, class, 30, bakit 40? Di ba, sir, that triangle doesn't exist? Yes, correct ka dun. Okay, 30 degrees of 60 degrees. If this is A, ano nga ba yung opposite ng 30? Ang opposite ng 30 ay 1/2 ng hypotenuse. So that's A over 2, di ba? And what is the opposite of 60 degrees? That's the product of the opposite of 30, A over 2, times the square root of 3. Okay, so you just need to multiply square root of 3 to the opposite side of the angle 30 degrees for you to get the sides. Nakuha, guys. And pag 45, 45, ito yung pinakamadali. Okay, pag 45, 45, of course, it's isosceles. So 45 degrees and 45 degrees. So if this is 1, or if this is A, this is A, this is A square root of 2 using Pythagorean theorem. Or if we have, okay, an isosceles triangle here, if this is 1, or if this is A over square root of 2, and this A is A over square root of 2. Ganun lang kadali yan, class, di ba? Do you remember that? Let me know. Anyway, pinaalala ko naman sa inyo, so there's no need to re-explain it. Okay? So, paano ba yan, sir, gagawin natin dito? Ayan, yan yung tanong doon. Okay, ganito ang gagawin natin. Makinig ng mabuti. Kung hindi, magme-memorize kayo. Alam ko ayaw nyo na mag-memorize eh. Okay, so dito, class, look at this. These angles are all special angles, 30, 45, 60. Kasi hindi rin naman niya kaya, kahit sino mang tao na yon, hindi rin naman niya kayang kunin yung mga 29 degrees, 39 degrees, 1 degree, okay, with the specific points or coordinates here. Hindi naman niya yun kaya kasi kailangan na ng calculator or computer. Okay? So kaya, ang ginawa dito, puro yan special angle. Sir, paano naging special angle yung 120, 135, 50, ganyan. Okay, later I will explain. So dito, una guys ay, again, this is a unit circle. So if we have, ayan, alright, now this is a 0-degree angle, di ba? And since it's a unit circle, therefore the radius is equal to 1. That's why x, this is x here is 1, and the y here is 0. Understood, guys? So 0-degree angle has a 0.10. Ayan, gamit na gamit yan pagdating natin sa equations, okay, ng trigonometry. Now, nakuha to, guys? Hey, para lang siyang triangle na ganito. Kaso, zero angle. So, hindi siya triangle. Kung hindi, segment lang siya. Radius is equal to 1. So, therefore, parang ang ginawa, guys, nag-overlap si radius at yung segment niya. Diba? So, nag-overlap siya kasi 0 degree angle, 0 degree. So the radius is just equal to the x, correct? And what's the measure of the radius? It's equal to 1. Did you understand, guys? Hindi ko sa inyo maipapakita yung device na ginawa ko, no? Kasi I made a device that explains this kind of concept in trigonometry. Pwede rin sa geom, kaso kulang tayo ng oras. Anyway, so eto na. Alam niyo to, gagamitin natin yan sa sine cosine. Okay. Next, we're done with 0. Hindi pa natin sinama yung 0 degree as special, no? Nakalimutan ko. Okay. So, 0. Next ay 30 degrees. Yung 30 degrees, I think I already explained this a while ago. Okay, pag 30 degrees, again, right angle siya. So, if this is 1, ang half ng 1 ay 1/2. And that's the opposite of 130 degrees. So this is equal to 0.5. And this is equal to square root of 3 times 1, diba? Based on our geometric theorem, yung special angles. So therefore, eto yan eh. Ayan. So this is radius. Ang radius natin ay 1 unit. So this is 30 degrees. If this is 30, wait lang guys. Naiiba yung color when I write it. So I'll use red. So if this is 30, this is 60 degrees, diba? Ayan. So if the radius is 1, ito, radius is 1. Therefore, if this is 1, the opposite of 30 is 1/2. Ito yung 1/2. And this is square root of 3. Okay? And look at this, guys. Square root of 3 over 2 kasi times 1/2 eh. Okay? So therefore, the x here is square root of 3 over 2. Ito yun. And the y here is 1/2. Ang height nitong angle na to ay 1/2. So ito yun. That's why we got square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. And the measure of the angle is 30 degrees. And 30 degrees is equivalent to pi over 6 when we convert. Understood? Nakuha, guys?
Nakuha
Hey.
po.
How about yung iba? Nakuha ba? Kasi I am very willing to explain this all over and all over again. Why? Because this is a foundation. Okay? So, for example, I need to change the color. Ayan. Change. Dito tayo sa malaki-laki. Ayan, medyo okay. So, dun tayo, red tayo. Ayan, so 30 degrees is here, 45 is here, and 60 dito. So, nakuha na natin yung 30 degrees. Sige, re-explain ko ulit. Okay, ito yung 30 degrees natin. Diba? And our radius is equal to 1. Sabi natin, 1 yung radius niya. So, here, this is the height, and this is the base of the triangle. The base is equal to the x, and the height is equal to the y. Diba? Kasi horizontal, and this is vertical. So, kumbaga, if we're going to trace plotting points, elementary, diba? Ayan. Anong point na to? This is equal to 1/2, and this is equal to square root of 3 using special angle over 2. So therefore, the point here is x, y. And what is x equal to? X is equal to square root of 3 over 2, and our y is 1/2. Okay, did you understand, guys? Nagme-make sense ba yung mga values doon? Ha? Wow, daming sumagot.
Yes po, sir.
Okay. Now let's proceed to the other angle. Okay, punta tayo kay 45 degrees. Ang hirap, no? Sige, i-delete ko na lang. Erase ko na lang, guys. Ang hirap. Dahil pala gumawa na ako ng mga ang daming circles. Or blank circle. Okay, wait lang. Sorry. Ay, naku, nawala. Oh my, nawala. Ba't kaya kasi hindi gumagana ng Control Z dito? Undo. Sino ba marunong? Pag ito naman, direction lang naman to eh. Huwag na nga. Okay, so ayan. Wala na siya. So, gagawa ulit tayo ng panibago. Ayun. So, my goodness. Paulit-ulit. Ayan. So, ayan. I hope you could still relate, guys. Okay, 45 degrees. 45 degrees is half of 90, di ba? This is 90 eh. So, 45 dito. Ayan. So, ang gagawin natin, change the color para may distinction. So, this is 45 degrees. And, of course, gagawa tayo ng triangle. Ayan. So, dito rin. Triangle. Triangle. Okay. Again, the radius is 1 unit. And 45 degrees is equal to pi over, ano ba, pi over 4. This is equal to pi over 4 radian. Diba? Sir, paano naging pi over 4? I-convert mo na lang. Pi over, times pi over 180 degrees. Okay. Now, the question here is, what is x and what is y? I know that this is x, this is y. That's the point. That's the coordinate. Napaka-importante nito, class, kasi this will give you the value of the Sokotowa and the Choshakaw. Okay? So, sir, ano nga ba yung value ng 45, 45? Let's recall. Okay, pag 45, 45, that's an isosceles triangle. If this is 1 over square root of 2, and this is 1 over square root of 2. Paano mo, sir, nalaman? Sige na nga, balik tayo sa elementary. Okay, let's say yung sides na to ay x. Since isosceles sila, they're both x. Ayaw siya ng command key plus z. Ayaw niya sa Mac. Hindi ko alam kung bakit. Arte ng laptop na to. Okay. So we have x squared using Pythagorean theorem. 1. So 2x squared is equal to 1. And x squared is equal to 1 over 2. And take square root on both sides. So that's positive, negative. 1 over square root of 2. Sir, wala yung negative. Okay, wala yung negative kasi nasa kabila yan. Okay? So that's positive. So tama to. So this is 1 over square root of 2 or square root of 2 over 2 to simplify or rationalize square root of 2 over 2. So our y's are, our coordinates are square root of 2 over 2 and square root of 2 over 2. Ayan, ganyan. Di ba, class, ang galing? Kasi nakukuha natin lahat. Hindi naman pala lahat. Or lahat ng special angles. Okay, next. Sir, what if we're done with 45? Let's deal with, ano ba? 60 degrees. So 60 degrees, class, madali lang siya. Ganun lang din naman, 30, 60, 90, di ba? 30, 60, 90, di ba? Hindi ko na siya i-discuss. Ang pinaka-importante, class, eto. Kasi eto palaging ginagamit. Eto yung, kumbaga, sa mga sagot, siya yung pinakapalaging sagot. Pinakapalagi lang not always. Okay. This is 90 degrees. Para lang siyang 0 degree ang explanation. Sir, how do you get the xy or the coordinates of the 90 degree angle? Eto. So, galing siya dito, tapos nag-move yung angle hanggang magkaroon ng 90 degrees. Initial point, initial side, terminal side. Naging 90 siya, class, di ba? So, it means yung radius nito, 1, yung radius din nito ay 1. Tama? Kaso unit circle siya. So therefore, radius is equal to the, ano ba to? Is this x or y? This is y malamang. Diba? Kasi vertical na siya. So the y here is equal to the radius, which is equal to 1. So therefore, ang point niya, xy, is equal to, ano yung x niya dito? 0, of course, because it's on the y-axis, positive y-axis, and the y here is 1. So therefore, this is equal to 0, 1. Understood, guys? Naintindihan ba? Okay.
Yes po.
Okay. Now, kasi pag ginamitan mo, pag nagsokatawa ka na at ginamitan mo siya ng calculator, some calculator will give you wrong answer. So that's the time that you need to do it by yourself. Paano mo siya gagawin? With the use of the coordinates of the special angles in the unit circle. Okay? Again, guys, unit circle siya yung panglaban sa mga trigonometric functions with angle measures given. Okay? Siya yung magiging sandata nyo. Trust me. Okay. Tingnan yung grade 11 ngayon. Medyo nangangamote sa trigo. Kaya I told them if they want or if they are available, they can sit in our class while we are discussing trigonometry. Kaso conflict ata sa schedule. Kaya yun, they were not able to come. Sila, bahala sila sa buhay nila. And pagdating sa calculus, good luck na lang. Okay. Okay, so na-discuss natin yung 90 degrees. Sir, how about yung isa? Itong 120 degrees. Sige, 120 degrees. Ganito class, 120 degrees is equivalent to what radian? Pi over 120, pi over 180. Ilan ba to? 0, 6, 2, 3. 2 pi over 3, di ba? 2 pi over 3. So, pareho lang siya. Ganyan, ganyan, ganyan. Ayan. Ito lang yan eh. This is 60 degrees, di ba guys? Ang daming shortcuts dito, sobra. Kung 60 to, hanapin mo lang yung, yan, gagawin mo lang, gumawa ka ng parallel line sa x-axis, tapos yung point intersection niya sa circle, siya na yung magiging 120 degrees. Ito, 120 ang tawag dito. Okay? So that's 120 degrees. Again, guys, the angle is always coming from the initial position of the angle, which is the positive x-axis. Okay, this is 120. Sir, paano natin ngayon i-derive yung value or yung point ng 120 degrees? Obtuse angle siya, di ba? Nakakakuha lang naman tayo ng pattern when we deal with right angle. Di gumawa tayo ng right angle, yun naman pala eh. Alam mo naman pala kung paano siya gawin eh. So, let's do with it. Let's do that. Okay, so, paano sir gagawa tayo ng right angle? Saan tayo kukuha ng perpendicular? Of course, x-axis tayo kukuha ng perpendicular segment. Ganyan. O di ba, nakakuha na tayo ng right triangle or right angle? So, since 120 to, at ito ay 180 degrees, ano yung measure nito? Sige nga, 60, di ba? 60 degrees to. Bakit 60, sir? Kasi 180 straight line. 120 yung nakuha natin. Ang tawag sa 60 na to ay, okay, given an angle 120 degrees, what do we call this 60 degrees in this figure? Guys, anong tawag dito? Ibibigay sa problem dapat alam yung term. Ang tawag dito ay,
Sir, linear pair ba po?
pwede siyang linear pair, pero we use linear pair sa geom. Sa trigonometry, there's another term for that. They're called supplementary, di ba? Supplementary, that's in geometry. But in trigonometry, we call that, wait, nakalimutan ko tuloy yung tawag. Mamaya guys, nakalimutan yung term. Reference angle. Okay? Reference nga ba? Yeah, reference angle ang tawag dyan. Okay? Reference. Why reference? Because we use 60 degrees as a reference to solve for the points or coordinates of the 120 degree measure angle. Nakuha? Guys? Wow, ang daming sumagot. Nakaka-touch naman. Okay, so 60 degrees. If this is 60, this is 30. This is radius is equal to 1, malamang, diba? And the opposite of 30 is this. Therefore, this is 1/2 negative. Ayan, dapat negative yan. Pag hindi mo yun na negative, Goodbye. Mali na lahat. Square root of 3 over 2. Now, this is the y. This is the x. Since y here is on the top or above the x-axis, therefore y is positive. That's why this point is equal to xy, which is equal to negative 1/2 square root of 3 over 2. That's why class sine 120 degrees is equal to what? Sine is y. It's just equal to square root of 3 over 2. And cosine 120 degrees is equal to negative 1/2. Sige, kunin nyo yan sa calculator. It will give you the correct answer. Okay? Or the same answer. Di ba? Pwede nating i-outsmart yung calculator. Actually, pwede. Kasi yung 90 degree, nag-e-error siya eh. Kuminsan nga may sagot pa siya. Yun pala, wala naman kasi undefined lang siya. So, nag-a-advance na ako. Ito, i-discuss natin yung sa susunod. Okay? Dapat ngayon eh, kaso walang time. Nakuha guys. Do you understand now how to deal with it? Okay, good. Now, ano ba sir ang pinaka-technique niyan? Ang pinaka-technique class, i-drawing mo, i-construct mo yung angle na yan, and then get a reference angle. Yung reference angle na yan, it is an angle made by the terminal side of the angle to the x-axis, either positive or the negative, kung saan siya malapit. Nakuha? Ganon. Sir, what about 3 pi over, sige, dito muna tayo. Huwag tayo masyadong atat. Sir, how about sir sa pi or pi? This is pi, di ba? Ayan, this is pi. Sorry, ang gulo class magsulat. Pi. Pi is 180 degrees. So, straight line lang siya. Anong point nito, sir? O, tingnan nyo class, anong point nito? If the radius is equal to 1, anong point nito? Sige nga, go. Uy, xy plane lang yan. What's the point or coordinates of 180 degrees? Negative 1, 0. Correct. Ayan. Negative 1 kasi nasa negative x-axis and 0 because malamang, di ba? Hindi ko na i-explain. Ang hirap i-explain ng plotting the points. Pang grade 7 ata yun or grade 8. Okay. Sir, how about 3 pi over 2? 3 pi over 2 is 270 degrees. Ito yun. So, 3 pi over 2 equals 270 degrees. Ano yung point nito? Ang point nito ay 0, negative 1. And sir, paano namin hahanapin yung mga ganito? Ganun pa rin. Same pa rin yung concept niya, class. Okay? Yun nga lang, yung y and x niya nagiging negative or positive. Alright? Sir, may technique ba yan? Actually, there is a technique. Maraming technique dito, class. Baka nga yung iba, mas madali pa yung alam nila kaysa akin eh. Okay. Sir, without thinking of those things individually, excuse me, sir, may technique ba pag nakuha ko na tong first quadrant? Yes, there is. Okay? So, eto class yung pinagbabawal na technique. Ito yung Sharingan at forbidden jutsu. Mga forbidden jutsus. Okay. Eto. Now, look at this. Ginawa ko na to kanina eh. Itong pi over 6 or 30 degrees, pag gumawa ka dito class, ano ba to? Red. Okay, good. Pag gumawa ka to ng parallel line, parallel with the x-axis, ayan, makukuha mo yung 30 degrees din dito. Kasi 30 siya, di ba? 30, 30. And if 30 to, what's the angle here? What's the measure of the angle of this side? That's 150 degrees. So 150 siya. Di ba? Oh, ganun pala yun. Joke lang. Guys, did you understand? Wow, ang daming sumagot. Walang nakaintindi. Okay. Now, since parallel sila dito, look at this. Pi square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. Ang measure nito, class, ang coordinates nito, pareho lang dito. Yan o. Square root of 3 over 2, 1/2. So, hindi naman pareho kasi negative yung isa. Malamang mag-negative yan kasi yung x niya ay nasa negative x-axis. It is on the second quadrant na siya. Diba? So, you're just going to copy the quantity, the number, and then change the sign if it's necessary. Gets? Okay, next. Ito naman, sa 45 degrees. Pag gumawa ako ng ng horizontal line or parallel line with the x-axis, I'll just copy these points, these coordinates, and here, since nasa second quadrant siya, yung x yung negative. So, ganun din. Look at this, guys. And if it's 45, therefore, this is 45. So, 45 degrees is the reference angle of what angle? Ito yun. 135 to. Oh, tama siya, di ba? 135. Gets, guys? Ito naman. Ayan, tinamad na mag-broken line. Straight line na lang. So, 1/2 square root of 3 over 2, ganun. Sir, nasa second quadrant, so negative x yung value niya. Yes, that's right. So, ayun na. And what angle measure is this? This is 60. Therefore, this is also 60. So therefore, the angle here is 120 because 120 plus 60 is 180. Understood? Class? Does it make sense? Nag-make sense ba yung technique? Gagawa kayo nito Okay. Now, sir, how about sir yung nandito sa second and the third, third and fourth quadrants? May technique pa po ba dyan? Meron uli yung techniques, guys. Okay? Ganito. Start tayo dito. Ang daming technique dito. Kaya nga yung gulong-gulo dito, it means na sobrahan siya sa technique. Ayun, nag-rumble na yung mga techniques niya hanggang sa nalito na siya. Okay, look at this. Ganito, technique number 1, nakuha mo na to, di ba? Gawa ka naman ng parallel sa y-axis dito. Okay? Tapos, ganun din ang concept. Pero, if I were you, I will always base it from the first quadrant kasi ito yung original ko. Pag nakuha mo na yung first quadrant, makukuha mo na lahat. Okay, paano? Sige, third quadrant tayo. Pag 0, ang opposite lang niya ay ito. Diba? Ayan, 180 eh. Always 180, supplementary. Kaya nga may identity sa 180. Okay, dito muna tayo, 30 degrees. Pag in-extend mo to class, sige na nga, zoom na tayo kumuha ng, ayan. Pag in-extend mo to, ayan, the values are the same but nag-negative lang siya. Excuse me. Okay? Now, dito, excuse me. Dito naman sa 30 degrees, wala, running out of time na naman, ang bilis. Sorry guys, wait lang. Ayaw matanggal. Ayun. Huh? Wait. Ba't ayaw? Okay, here we go. Ito naman, pag in-extend ko to, ito siya. Ayan. Kung 30 to, kung 30 degrees to, malamang ito ay 30 degrees din. Okay, sige. Question, bakit 30 degrees yan, sir? Bakit?
Vertical angles.
Okay, very good. Very good. Vertical angles are congruent. Di ba so nagagamit na natin yung geometry? Okay, 30 degrees din to with respect to the negative x-axis. Kaya pareho lang sila class ng values ng points. Yun nga lang, nagkakaiba sila sa sign. So nag siyang square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, square root of 3 over 2, 1/2, and both negative. Why both negative? Because they are what? On the third quadrant. Diba? And sir, bakit naging 210 degrees? It's because this is 180 plus 30, 210. Ano yung reference angle niya? 30 degrees lang naman. Okay? Tandaan nyo na, ang daming terminologies dyan sa long test nyo. Okay, next. Sir, how about the next? Oh, wag atat. Eto na tayo. Okay. Excuse. Next, 45 degrees. Ayan. Look at the value. Square root of 2, square root of 2, square root of square root 2, negative, negative. Ayan, di ba? Yan. Ganun din dito. Ganun din dyan. Okay? Nakuha, guys. So, sir, yung first and second quadrant, 90 degrees lang idadagdag mo. Okay, look at this. 30 degrees plus 90, 120. Ay, mali. Huwag nyo nang isipin yung test. Mamamali lang kayo doon. Magparallel na lang kayo doon. Okay. Sir, how about sir sa fourth quadrant? Ganun din plus sa fourth quadrant. Parang gumamit, parang yung ginawa mo sa second. Kasi we are using the, wait lang, we are using the first quadrant here, di ba? Okay. So dito, gagawa ka ng parallel line sa y-axis. Ayan. Tapos eto rin. 'Di ba? Parang ang ginawa, nung una sabihin mo, ang hirap naman yan, sir, i-memorize. Yun pala may technique. I-memorize mo lang to. Sige, huwag ka mag-memorize. I-solve mo na lang yung first quadrant and you'll get everything from the second, the third, and the fourth. Understood, class? Naintindihan po ba? Okay, si Sean lang nakaintindi. Okay, ang galing. Now, so, ayan na. Tapos na tayo dito. So, ang gagawin natin ngayon, wait lang. Wait lang, class. Yun. Tapos, PowerPoint. Okay, good. So, eto, mas magandang gumawa kayo nito. Okay, i-fill out nyo. Keep on practicing this by constructing a unit circle, tapos lagay kayo ng mga angles. Siguro mga 5 paper or 5 ganun na gawin nyo hanggang sa ma-practice or ma-memorize nyo. Kasi next time, hindi na tayo calculator. Lahat yan manual nating isosolve. Dapat mabilis ka mag-solve yan. Mabilis mong mahanap kung nasaan siya. Okay? Naintindihan ba, class? So I advise everyone to keep on practicing this. You need to construct a unit circle and then identify the special angles. How many special angles do we have? 1, 2, 3 times 4, 12, plus 4, 16, including the quadrantal. Oh, nasabi ko. Okay. Oh, by the way, class, these angles 30, 45, 60 are angles on a quadrant, diba? First quadrant, ito naman second, third, and fourth. Now, what do we call these angles? The 0, the 90, the 180, and the 270, and the 360. What do we call them? Axial? No. Axial parang sa physics ata yan. No? No. Hindi nagbabasa. We call it, kakasabi ko lang kanina, quadrantal. Okay? Quadrantal angles ang tawag dyan, class. Ito mga angles na to. They're not on the quadrant. Okay? We cannot determine them on which quadrant, but they are quadrantal angles. 0, 90, 180, 270. Okay, Ethan, do you have another technique on how to easily identify the points, the coordinates, the angles, the position of the angles, and whatsoever in a unit circle? Do you care to share? Yun ang tanong din eh.
Sir, wala po akong special technique. Sinasa ulo ko lang po.
My God, sinaulo mo yung lahat? Ang dami-dami kaya nun. So you mean you did not do what I did, what I mentioned?
Sir, yung first quadrant lang po pala yung sinaulo ko, and then reflect and rotate na lang.
Palusot number 1. Sige na nga. Okay, I accept. Okay. I hope everybody made up their mind not to memorize everything. Okay? Sige. Again, guys, para ma-practice nyo yun, gawa kayo ng 5 ganon. Siyempre, huwag kang tumingin. Gumawa ka pa kung titingin ka lang naman. Parang dinadaya mo lang din sarili mo. Okay. So, let's now go to trigonometry. So, hindi pa tayo nagtitrigo kanina. Hindi. Naglalaro lang tayo kanina, class. Okay? Pinaglalaroan lang natin yung unit circle kanina. Okay, so welcome to the world of trigonometry. Now, the word trigonometry is derived from the 2 Greek words trigonon. Ang alam ko trigo eh. Trigonon means triangle. Okay? And metria means measurement. Okay? It is commonly defined as a branch of mathematics that studies relationships between sides and angles of a triangle. Okay, yan ang pinakamaganda. All right, and given below is a right triangle with acute angle theta. Ito, bakit nasabing acute? Kasi right triangle siya. And it is impossible for a right triangle to have an obtuse angle. Theorem ba yun? Theorem yun or postulates ata, di ba? Okay, and in a right triangle class, pag we need to dissect the triangle, okay? We need to open its body parts. So in a right triangle, these are the main parts. We have the angle measure, the sides, and the hypotenuse, okay? And we have this opposite adjacent sides. Sir, this is adjacent side, this is opposite side. Palagi po ba siyang adjacent to, tapos opposite to? No, it depends on the basis. It depends on the reference angle, okay? Kung ang reference mo angle na to, ito yung adjacent niya. Sir, what yung by adjacent? Katabi, magkadikit, siya yung kadikit ng theta, ng angle na reference natin. Kaya siya tinawag na adjacent. Bakit sir tinawag tong opposite? Kasi it's the opposite of the angle measure that we are talking about. Okay? So sabi ko nga, napaka-literal niya. So literal din yung gusto niyang sabihin. Diba? So the name itself tells you that whatever the relationship of those sides to the given angle measure. Sir, katabi naman ni theta sa hypotenuse, di ba? O sige, bahala ka sa buhay mo. Gawin mo rin siyang adjacent, maluloko ka dyan. Yeah, that's right. You have a point there. It is adjacent. However, we need to make it distinct from other sides. Kasi kung walang distinction, it's not well-defined. Pag sinabing well-defined, dapat alam mo kaagad na siya yun. Walang confusion, walang misinterpretation, walang misconception. Okay? So it is also an adjacent side of the angle measure given, pero specifically to make it distinct from the other sides, it is called hypotenuse. And hypotenuse is always the hypotenuse. Gets, guys? Okay? Sir, what if the angle, reference angle is here, let's say beta? Of course, this becomes the adjacent. Pangit ang sulat niyo. Okay, adjacent. Ito naman yung magiging opposite natin. Sabi ko nga, it depends on the reference angle. And of course, this one is always hypotenuse. Okay, so, yan yung gustong sabihin niya, class. Okay, so let's apply. I hope marami kayong aha moments ngayon or natutunan ngayon when it comes to trigonometry. Okay? Ala, wait lang. Yun, nagre-record pala.